Okay, it is December 31st, the last day of the year, 2014. And I am very, very excited to be here with my friend, my healer, my teacher, my guide, Danny Carney. And Danny, thank you for coming on such a powerful, important day. What some people call Samhain Day, the last day of the year.
Thank you and welcome.
How are you?
Very good.
Okay, you look great.
Thank you.
And I love it's silk, of course, right? That's
Right.
a silk shirt.
Yeah.
I love your silk Tao Master Sha shirt.
Chinese.
Chinese.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
And speaking of, I have to say the great Master Sha, because in my opinion, he's many things, and he's also a great, loving person. And speaking of Master Sha, you and you much more than me, have both become quite active and involved with this extremely powerful and very fast-growing worldwide movement and of Master Sha. What do they call it? Love,
Peace, and Harmony World Family.
And that already that tells
Yeah.
you a lot
Yeah.
right off the bat what they're about, and that's exactly what they're about. And there's such a need for it in the world today. Master Sha's teaching is revolutionary, I think, because, well, for one thing, he teaches that everything has soul, mind, and body. Everything.
Right.
Every cell, every organ, everything. Chair, mountain, cloud, soul, mind, and body. And that is for a Western mind, that's a very revolutionary teaching. Is it not so that every sickness begins with a problem in the soul of the person, the organ, the cellular structure? Is that correct?
Yeah, so let's just give a few words about what is this revolution of
Okay.
Master Sha. So if I start and I say that the Western medicine goes for the body, for the matter, for the material, for the body, for the biology.
That's all it knows.
And the Chinese medicine speaks about qi, energy,
Yes.
where it says, where qi flows, blood flows. That means if the energy runs in the body, then there's no sickness. And sickness is a blockage of energy.
Yes.
So this is putting the matter and the energy together. And what Master Sha added is actually the soul. And he came up with this wisdom, which is ancient Chinese wisdom, but he added that everything has a soul, mind, and body. That means the body includes the matter and the energy, which if we look at it at a point of view of medicine, it would include the Western and the Chinese. The mind part, that means that every cell and everything has some intelligence, which I would say is implanted in the DNA. And then we add the soul. Just like we have a body soul, which is our soul, every organ, every system, and every cell in the body, even the space between the cells, has a soul.
And that is not the ancient Taoist understanding? It's a new understanding? Or?
It's quite a new understanding that it started with Master Sha's teacher by the name of Master Guo.
Yes.
And Master Sha understood, being in China, that he will not be able to develop this concept within China, because China has Taoism and the other philosophies, and the ancient philosophy, which all speaks about energy in the body, energy centers, energy circles, and the whole concept of TCM, which is a traditional Chinese medicine,
Yes.
is around the concept of energy and energy blockages, etc.
Yes.
And this concept of soul, he knew he couldn't develop it too much in China, and that's
Okay.
one of the reasons that he went to the West.
Indeed.
Now, it's not easy for us as Westerners believing in science to recognize or think of a soul in everything. We might, think, okay, we've got a soul, we had reincarnations, and we've been through past lives, but to go down and think that every leaf or everything has a soul, it's not easy for our mind.
No.
But coming back to your first question, there is a soul, and when there is an illness, which is actually blockages, the illness starts in the soul of that particular organ or system or area. So if we want to heal that organ or area, the best way to heal it is going down to the root of the illness, which would be on the soul level. And Master Sha says, heal the soul and the body and mind will follow.
And that's where the say hello technique comes in. Is that correct?
Yeah, the say hello technique, which is very simple and very powerful, uses 3 energy channels: your mind, your voice, and your hands or body, with a preliminary request, and that's how you heal yourself.
Give us for instance. We did talk about it in the earlier film that we did.
Yeah.
But just very briefly.
I'll tell you what the concept is.
Yes.
The concept is that that energy and matter can carry and receive energy from our message.
Yes.
That means that when I pray to my body, when I ask my body for something,
from soul to soul, the soul
right.
of Danny to the soul of the
right.
Of the liver.
Now I can express my request by a thought, by speech, by where I put my hands, and even if my thought is written. So this is energy that goes down to the smallest layer of the cell and is accepted into the energy and the matter of that cell or that particular area. And what we learned, that the biology that accepts the message is the water in
Yes.
that cell, because water can absorb thought energy and change. And when
This is
the
the
water
work,
changes,
of the great Dr. Emoto, who wrote a recommendation in Master Sha's book.
right.
You can see it in his books.
So Razao Emoto, who passed away 18th of October 14, he showed us, and every one of us can make the experiment, that water can change its molecules according to the thought or the speech that you give it.
That's right.
So coming back to the hello healing,
Yes.
when I operate these 3 energies, the thought, the body with the hands, and the speech, and put the request for healing, it goes into that area and does the work.
Give us the steps again, Danny.
So for instance, I want to heal my left knee.
Yes.
So first of all, I address and I say, dear soul, mind, body of my left knee, I love you. Now why do I express love? Because love is a treasure, a divine treasure that opens up all blockages. So I express love. That's the beginning of opening the blockage and putting me near the organ, in this case my left knee.
Yes.
Then I give it the request. You have the power to heal yourself. And I give the energy and the confirmation. Do a good job. and then I thank it for doing what I want. Thank you. So now I'll say it all together.
Yes.
But before that, I sit with my back straight up. I put one hand, my right hand, on the energy center, the power energy center of the body, which is the lower abdomen, under the navel, which is called, with Master Sha, the Chinese medicine, the lower dantian. I put my left hand on my knee or on any organ that you think of, and this is the body connection. In my mind, I imagine that my left knee is all coated inside and outside with golden healing color, and after I put my request, I will start chanting, and I chant the process that I'm going through, healing, and what I want to achieve, health. So I'll start from the beginning. Dear soul, mind and body of my left knee, I love you. You have the power to heal yourself. Do a good job. Thank you. My left knee is healing, my left knee is healthy. My left knee is healing, my left knee is healthy. My left knee is healing, my left knee is healthy. Left knee healing and 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 healthy. I go on for 3 to 5 minutes, and when I'm doing this, I see in my mind the left knee in gold and the energy going through from my lower abdomen, golden light ball, to the knee. Now I'll add one thing. When I do this, I call my inner souls of the body power and my left knee to do the healing. But I can add an outer soul, an external soul. I can call the soul of the sun, the soul of the universe. I can call the soul of Master Sha. I can call the soul of any person that I think that can help me in healing, if he's in this life or he's in the upper world. And then let's say I call upon the soul of Master Sha. So I would say, dear soul of Master Sha, I love you.
What about God or the source?
You can.
Okay.
Ratherly, I don't go so high.
Okay.
Because I give them more respect for really big problems.
Okay.
So I say, dear Master Sha, I love you. Please give me a healing and blessing to my left knee. Thank you. I mean, because he's an external soul, I don't go through the whole process like my inner powers.
Yes.
This is hello healing. You may use it for anything, any problem, any illness which is physical or emotional. For instance, if you want to get rid of anger, say you just heal my anger just like you heal your left knee.
And you would touch the liver, wouldn't you?
I will touch the liver because I know that anger is connected to the liver just like you know. But if people do not know which emotion is connected to which organ, and this is according to the Chinese medicine, you just ask the anger to go, and if it's emotion, keep your one hand on your lower abdomen and the other hand on your heart, because all in all, if you don't know where the emotions are connected in the body, the heart will do the job for all emotions.
Mm. Okay. So Danny, it must be very exciting for you to be, I've been watching the webinars for a couple of years now, on and off, and I see that it's something growing, and that and something, this movement, the Love, Peace, Harmony, World Family movement. I see the, I suppose, and you've gone to so many of these workshops, you've become a rather high initiate in the movement, and I suppose it must be very exciting, and more than exciting, it must be inspiring to be part of such a movement. What would you like to say? What is it like to go to the workshops in Europe and to be a part of this?
Look, we have to say that there are two different groups or two levels.
Okay.
The one the one objective of Master Sha is that everyone should be able to heal himself and heal the world around.
Yes.
So that's the healing area, and the healing includes self-purification and a lot of studying to know the material. Let's say the 5 elements,
Yes.
and the energy of the body. It's got a lot to do with body energy and sacred ancient Chinese knowledge and the new knowledge that Master Sha brings down. And most of his conferences, or as he calls them, retreats, are around these subjects. And the second part, he says that our main objective in this world is to be better people, to give our full self for unconditional universal service to humanity. That means if you help one soul, one person, or you help a group, or you help a country, or you help any other size, you're giving your service. And the better way to give your unconditional service and to implant it into your DNA, into yourself, is join this group which is called Love, Peace, Harmony World Family. And there you can join up with other groups and get the power of the groups to put this message through. And the most important objective is each one of us should behave better, give more. And how do I connect it to the healing? If a person is ill, physically, emotionally, or mentally, he hasn't got the energy, the time, or the efforts to help others.
Yes.
So Master Sha says, if you want to improve yourself and close your karmatic issues, you have to give to help others. And if you're ill, you can't so much. So get healthy. And then you reach the utmost goal, which is to reach love, peace, and harmony within all humanity.
Okay. And there's no cost to join. There's actually there's a lot of benefits. It's all described in the website that are not connected to money at all. Of course, they raise money because they have a huge mission, and it couldn't be done without the raising of money.
Right.
So, okay, and so you've been going to these workshops, and you've met with Master Sha. Isn't that correct?
Right.
And well, what is it like?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. He's not so accessible.
Yes.
Because in the past many people used to go up to him and etc. etc. So now you can't actually speak to him, because when he comes to retreats or to gatherings, we all sit in the hall with one of his masters, his students.
Yes.
And then he comes in and he gives his lesson or whatever, for it can be from 1 hour to, we even had a session of 10 hours with no break.
Whoa.
And then he leaves before, and he goes to his room or whatever. The only real time that I spoke to him was the first time when I wanted to organize you
Yes.
on Skype to get a healing.
Yes, which he did. He gave me 4 healings, and that was an amazing. It really did change my life.
So
my life, maybe not to the full extent that he and I might have hoped, but that's up to God. Yes.
Right. So it's not easy to get to him. I wish I will one day, but I'm on the program of the Masters.
Yes.
And I'm on my way.
Yes,
and when I'll achieve that, then this is his first line underneath him. And I guess I'll be the only one from Israel, so I think I'll get more attention. I'll be able to speak to him personally, because I've got a lot to discuss with him.
Yes, you do. And there's a huge work to be done here. With this movement of Master Sha, where is the book, Danny? I mean, the title of the book is it's a well-named book
Yeah.
because, well, if you look at the YouTube and
This is Master Sha.
and you look at some of the clips of Master Sha and his high initiates, his students doing healing, it is healing miracles. It is soul healing miracles. And
Right.
that's why the book has this name. I mean, I've seen these things. I've seen them on the webinars that I've participated in. I've seen miracles. I've seen it on the clips that you can see on the YouTube. He was marked for greatness as a small child. Is that not so? Maybe you could tell us a little bit. There is another book about his life, correct? Which I've lent to a friend. What is the name of the other book?
The other book is a journalist who writes biographies.
Right.
He wrote about Master Sha.
A Harvard anthropologist.
Right.
No less.
He wrote about Master Sha, and he gives there not too much about his life, more about the wisdom, and he gives testimonials, and it's written from a very skeptic point of view, as though someone comes in and doesn't believe anything and says, "Okay, now show me, explain to me."
Okay.
So that book is good for anyone who is skeptical about all these healing miracles.
It was written by William Gladstone, correct?
Right.
PhD.
Right.
And he's interviewed people. I mean, all of the great famous masters. He's met with, I believe, the Dalai Lama and Sai Baba, and he's met all the famous great ones. And so he himself was blown away by the things he saw with Master Sha. I saw him at the latest workshop.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's so unique about Master Sha. The one thing is that his materials that he teaches are very simple. And there's an old saying that Master Sha uses from the old Chinese emperor 5,000 years ago, Yellow Book. He says, the greatest way is the simplest way.
And he also says, follow nature's way.
Follow nature's way.
Yes.
That means that Master Sha's, one of his unique points is that he delivers the material so anyone can learn and understand and absorb.
Yes.
I mean, I've been studying all his, I think this is book number 13 or 14. I've been studying all the books and all the wisdom, and I've been studying Chinese proverbs off by heart, etc., etc.
Yes.
But if you know how to teach and to deliver, then it's simple. You don't have to study 20 years of deep spiritual studies to become someone who is spiritual and knows the material. That's the first unique thing, and that catches on people like this Goldstone. And the second... Gladstone, sorry.
Yes.
And the second is that me, with my small group in Yahud, in Tel Aviv, we have many miracles from my healing, from Master Kirsten, who comes up on Skype from time to time to give healings.
Yes.
Healings with the book we have miracles. So if you follow the instructions, which are quite simple, things happen. It's just enough to sleep with the book or use the book for healing. And we have so many stories even within our members. So these 2 points of being simple to understand and to do, and getting results, these 2 points, I think, fascinate most people that are introduced to Master Sha and to his doings.
Okay, now, one of the reasons why this book is so powerful is because it features sacred calligraphies.
Right.
Now, I mean, even on the cover, we see a hand.
This is him drawing.
Him drawing. He has. When he draws the calligraphy, he downloads into the calligraphies heaven's. Well, how? I mean, it is unusual for a Western mind he downloads into the calligraphies saints. I mean, how would you?
I just say it's simple. I tell people that before the book is printed, he downloads divine healing power into the calligraphies.
Yes.
And that's why the divine healing power is in the calligraphies in the book, and you cannot, if you photocopy or Xerox it and want to take it elsewhere, it won't work. It's in the book. People ask me, I don't want to take the whole book, can I just photocopy it?
What is that one?
This one is the Ling one, the first one.
Yes.
This is number 17 in the book. Each one has a name, each one has a meaning. There are 9 altogether in this book. But I tell people to make it simple. Just pick out anyone you want, anyone you feel like on that same day or whenever you need a healing, and use it. Because all of them work tremendously.
But I do want to return to this point. He says that each calligraphy is linked in a very, very powerful way with certain heaven saints who are connected with that characteristic of healing and love. So, like,
let's take for instance,
yes,
number 18, which is called Da-I. This is the greatest divine love.
Okay.
So it is one of the 4 divine treasures, which are love, forgiveness, compassion, and light.
Okay.
So we'll just take for an example the Da-I, which is the first one. And as I said before, we express love because love opens all blockages, soul, mind, body blockages. A person who has love all over, he will probably have less illness, less blockages.
For sure.
So this calligraphy has the divine love energies. Although it can do everything, it can heal or everything, but its uniqueness is the love energy.
And it is connected to saints who are connected with the characteristic of divine love.
Right.
And also with what he calls heaven's treasures that are connected with the aspect of love. It's like a vortex or a portal to these saints and to these treasures. When you connect with the calligraphy, even now, the people who are watching this are connecting.
Right.
And they could probably, as I can, feel the energy of it.
So this is explained in chapter number 5 of the book.
Yes.
This book is a very interesting book, and it has many, a lot of wisdom in it for healing techniques. And only chapter number 5 is a chapter with the calligraphies. Although in chapter number 4 he also speaks already about the first calligraphies.
Indeed.
But if you want to really dig into more understanding of each one of them, it's written. Each one of them is described in the book.
Show us again the back of the book, then.
The back of the book. This is Da Guan Ming, which is the light of the divine light, the great divine light.
Yes.
And Master Sha, as you know, gold is the major healing color.
Yes.
And at the beginning,
It's
Master
like
Sha,
it's like a basis for all.
yeah, Master Sha used to perform always with a tie and a suit and a tie. And then he went on to clothing like I have. Beautiful. And now almost every time he comes with gold, because he speaks about, there are 4 healing colors: the gold, the rainbow, the violet, and the crystal.
White crystal? You mean white crystal?
No, it's a crystal. I see the crystal as pinkish.
Okay.
But everyone can see it. You can see it white. But gold is the main healing color, the main color for transformation. We learned that in the Bible story, when Moses came down from the mountain and saw that the Israelites built this golden cow.
Yes, yes.
And what he did, he burnt it down. He took all the gold, turned it into dust gold, and fed all the 600,000 Israelites with this dust gold.
Yes.
And that transformed their energies to a higher level of energy.
That's a very interesting description.
Yeah, so we see it in
Wow.
our people in the Bible.
Yes.
So gold is a very, and that's why now I think almost always you see him walking with a golden Chinese beautiful shirt.
Okay, truly beautiful.
Mm.
Okay, but like I started to talk about a while ago, he was auspiciously marked as a child. For instance, I understand that he had a very significant dream in which Kuan Yin, the great goddess of compassion, came to him as a 5-year-old or something, and taught him a sacred mantra that he was to teach to the world, which he does teach to the world. The Dabe Jiao.
Dabe Ju, yeah.
The Dabe Jiao. What was he 5 years old? Do you remember the story?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I only know that he, if a soul comes down into a life, into a human being, and the soul is a very high soul, you can spot from childhood that the boy is different.
Indeed.
And as he grows,
pardon me, boy or girl?
boy or girl, obviously,
Okay.
I'm speaking about boy because Master Sha.
All right.
And as you grow in age, you become more aware of your uniqueness as a very high soul. So Master Sha, from a very early age, tended to go straight to the Tai Chi and the
He was chosen
Qigong.
by a master at age 6.
Yeah,
Do you know that story?
yeah.
What is that story?
The story is that he was walking with his parents in one of the parks.
So, I mean, he was a simple Chinese boy. He wasn't. His parents were not spiritual teachers or anything like that.
No.
So
But he grew up in a good family, a very intelligent family.
Yes.
And his parents had a good job. I don't remember exactly what his father was doing. And one day they were walking in the park, and he saw this master and a group of people doing Tai Chi.
Yes.
That like they do in China in the open spaces.
Yes.
And he went up to the master. He left his parents, ran up to the master, and he said, "I want to be a student." And the master said, "You are too young."
Because he saw the master throwing his students back with the energy of his.
Yeah, that was him seeing the power.
Right.
But I think, as
Without touching them, he was throwing them back just by the movements.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think what happened was that Master Sha saw this exercise, and it directly connected him to his previous lives where he did it, and he was magnetized to this.
Obviously, something.
And then he
like that.
ran to his parents and said, "Papa, Dada,
Let me study. Let me study.
let me study this. The master doesn't want to accept me. I'm too young." And after expressing his so much will, this Chinese master understood that he's got some unique child here, and he took him into his lessons, and later on Qigong and Kung Fu, and he mastered all these martial arts, Chinese martial arts. At a very early age of, I think before 20, he started studying Western medicine, that is first degree, parallel to traditional Chinese medicine, and that's how he made his progress. And his first big achievement of recognition of him was by his acupuncture abilities, and he was an outstanding acupuncturist. And what he
developed his own technique.
He developed his
and
own
he was
technique.
getting unprecedented results.
And obviously we know that he, even without knowing, his techniques involved the healing powers from divine. I mean, not only regular putting in the needles, but with the divine power. He developed his own, and he got unbelievable results.
which is why the government of China, the communist government of
Right.
China, offered him his own hospital
Right.
to develop his technique and to teach and to heal people.
Right.
It was people with strokes and people with deafness, as I recall.
Everything. And although he was not aware of these divine powers, because that came to him a bit later, he was definitely working with it already as a very high soul.
No doubt about it. No, but I've heard the story, and he was having incredible, unprecedented results with, in particular, stroke victims and deafness.
Yeah.
And he developed his own technique with long needles very, very fast. And he would put in the Qigong or the Tai Chi energy into the needles. And so they offered him his own hospital as such a young man. But he was also Qigong Grandmaster of the Year.
Yeah.
Every year, they choose a Grandmaster, and he was the Grandmaster of the Year. So, I mean, he's also a Feng Shui he's what's called a Grandmaster. Not that I understand the difference, but I guess it's like a chess Grandmaster. It's like the very, very highest level.
I think that means that he masters many arts, a lot of wisdom that's connected to the old Chinese wisdom.
But to be named a Grandmaster, it's a very, very, very high honor, and he's also Feng Shui, as I understand, Kung Fu, Qigong, and Tai Chi. So that's like, 4? And there's nobody like that.
But I want to emphasize his real greatness.
I want you to do that.
You see, in all the East, it was very common that the master has many students, but he passes on the secrets to one chosen disciple. And that's the difference between the word disciple and student. Disciple gets to know the secrets of the arts, no matter what art we're speaking about. And Master Sha understood that this lineage of bringing down the knowledge from one to another will not lead him to changing the world, because it's from one master to the other. And he understood he could not do that in China. And I understand that he got this divine message that he has to spread out this knowledge to all the world, so everyone will share it and be able to heal and become better people.
Which he's really doing.
And that's his real breakthrough. When he came to the West, he started off with Canada and then America, and he found that there slowly, because breaking into the Western scientific mind is not easy, but slowly he made his breakthrough. And
now
that's
in
why
Western Europe, very strong. Germany, Holland, very strong.
And that's how he put his knowledge into, he flowed his books. I think now...
You mean it's like channeling from the source, from the divine?
Yeah, he's got, I think it's 13 or 14 books. All of them he channels. I mean, he doesn't have to think of what he's going to write. He just flows them out. And this, with all the workshops and building his organization, he has a goal now, for instance, with the Divine Healing Hands. He has a goal, I think, within 4 years to reach 200,000 people all over the world.
220,000.
220,000
Yes.
that have done the Divine Healing Hands course and have got the certificate of Divine Healing Hands. And the only way he could do it is start spreading out to getting more and more places, more and more masters to get it out. And he believes that in every family, in every community, there should be at least one Divine Healing Hands certificate person who can teach and heal the others.
I want to talk about Divine Healing Hands in a minute, but first, when you talk about what makes him special, there are a number of things. I saw this latest workshop. I joined, registered for the webinar in the Agape Center of Reverend Michael Beckwith in Los Angeles, California. So I was joining by webinar, and in that workshop, Professor William Gladstone, who wrote the book Divine Soul Healer, the autobiography of Master Sha, the professor anthropologist who's met so many of these great teachers like Dalai Lama and Sai Baba, he tells the story that impressed him the most. And the story that impressed him the most is when they were leaving a workshop of Master Sha, and he had his sports car, and it had been raining hard, and anyway, his car got stuck in the mud. Okay, it had been in California, has sometimes mud problems, Southern California, and who comes driving along behind them? But Master Sha and one of his students who's driving a Land Rover. Master Sha isn't driving. I think it was the tall blonde one. I don't remember his name.
Okay.
Master Allen. Okay, I'm pretty sure.
No, Adam is the shorter, bald one that's in India.
Okay.
Never mind. Okay.
All right, not Master Allen. Okay, not Master Allen.
Okay.
But a tall blonde, I know who the student is. I know most of the students.
Okay.
And but apparently I don't remember the name. The student was driving a Land Rover, so they weren't getting stuck. And Master Sha, he was driving Master Sha, and they see the sports car of William Gladstone stuck in the mud. So they both get out. And Master Sha and his disciple or his student had to push the car, and they go to push the car, which is stuck. And William Gladstone is shocked that Master Sha has gotten out of his car to help push, and anyway, he told that story, and he says, no, the AA is on the way. Everything's on the cane. Everything's okay, and they're on their way to help me to unstick me, and it's okay. And he had to convince Master Sha and his student that they don't have to push him out of the mud because everything is okay, and that they really, they were. Now he says that story has influenced him the most in his experience with Master Sha, because he said he never saw anything like that with a master, with a high master, and that story impresses me. It really does impress me.
I must tell you that Master Sha, with all his greatness, he has a very good sense of humor.
Absolutely.
Laughing all the time. He jokes a lot.
Yes.
He has his expressions. He's very down to earth when you need to. I even asked if he eats special food. His master says no. He eats everything. He likes food. So
he has a ping pong. He has 4 children, and I know they have a ping pong table in the basement.
I don't know of that, but
I've watched a lot of the webinars.
And just like he
4
said,
adult children. Yes.
Just like he said in his memories that when he was 6 years old, he saw this woman heavily breathing with asthma, and at that moment he decided he wanted to be a doctor to treat people. So the same thing, he can walk in the corridor, even on the lunch break at retreats, and see someone in agony or pain. So he won't just he'll treat him.
It's amazing to watch him work with people. To watch him work with one-on-one with people. I've seen it many times.
On stage,
yes.
Yeah.
And with children, and also, it's just very, very powerful. There are many things that set this group apart. Just the chanting, really, really love you. There's something about loving each other. And there's this actually amazing love energy, which I feel strong through the computer. It's something very special.
Yeah.
And the people in the audience sing it to the initiated students, really, really love you, Master Peter. And then he's, it goes back and forth, and it's just, it may sound corny to people, it may seem corny, but it's actually the very essence.
No, but you have to get into the atmosphere.
Yes.
To really appreciate and value what's going on there in those retreats, because someone comes in from the outside, he sees a group of 200 or 300 people singing,
yes,
and sometimes dancing, and sometimes bowing to the master. It seems very strange for a newcomer.
But there's a lot of bowing. The divine channels, the high initiated students, people will bow to them, and they'll bow to them. Everybody's bowing. There's a lot of bowing.
Yeah, because you never bow to a person. You bow to the energies, you bow to the field.
Yes.
It's called the Tao Chang, the Tao field. You bow to the sacredness of the people, of the souls.
Yes.
So when you bow to Master Sha, you're not bowing to him as flesh and blood.
That's right.
You're bowing to his presence, to his divine presence. And that's very difficult to explain to newcomers. But as you go through the process, you understand to appreciate. And Master Sha says, from childhood, when I grew up in all these philosophies and martial arts in China, you bow to your master because that's the way to give respect.
This is the Eastern way. This is the Far East.
The Eastern way.
And also in India, Namaste, it's a bowing down to the God in the one in front of you. You know?
Yeah.
So at the beginning I had a bit of a problem with it, but now none at all.
That's why I also had a problem at the beginning. I couldn't understand what's going around, why are people bowing and etc. But you have to get into it, and then you appreciate.
And you have to understand what's behind it.
Right.
Well, which is what you've just explained. Master Sha will say of himself that he is a servant. He had an experience. I wonder if you could tell this story. He was in a Japanese restaurant or something, or was it a workshop, where an aspect of God comes to him and and chooses him for this mission. Do you know this story? He says, I am a servant, you are a servant.
Yeah.
From now on, I will do all the work, but you will bring it through to the world. Do you know that story?
There are a few stories,
okay,
but the main thing is to understand that Master says his main sentence is, I am an unconditional universal servant.
Yes.
And that means I'm a messenger. I do what is commanded for me to do by divine orders. And this is on a spiritual level. His soul serves the spiritual and the universal purpose.
Yes.
But
and
if you go down to a ground soul, you help people. You help, as he says, if you want to explain what unconditional service means, is to make people happier and healthier.
Yes.
So everything with him has a spiritual divine aspect and a day-to-day, daily life aspect. And that's what's nice about it. If you don't understand what universal service is and unconditional, make everyone happier and healthier. Does that make sense? That makes sense. You want to know how to do it? As you feel, or come and learn. Learn the way. And what I add to that, being an unconditional universal servant, is give more of yourself. Sacrifice your time, your energy to help someone, even if it's inconvenient.
Yes.
Give a bit more. Add more than you're expected from. If it's to a person in need, don't wait always for people to call you, to ask. You see someone in trouble, someone that needs, approach him, go out to him, because people are sometimes very shy or don't feel comfortable of asking. So that is the unconditional love. And I remember when he gave this example of his first healing on stage, when he chose this guy he had pancreas cancer.
Yeah.
And then Divine told him, you open yourself to the patient, I do the job. I will never forget. And that is the essence of being a divine healing hands. You don't use your own energies for healing. You are a channel. Get the patient, get him into this atmosphere or the condition, as we say, for healing. Connect to divine, connect to your guides, connect to Tao, and they come through you, do the job.
He uses the phrase, when you have divine healing hands, he describes it as these giant divine hands actually come into your hands. They merge into your hands. And of course they get smaller, you know. I mean, he described it as truly, maybe tell us about divine healing hands.
First of all,
Is it not like these divine heavenly hands being downloaded into your hands?
The best way to look at this is if you look at the green book that's called Divine Healing Hands,
Yes.
and on the cover you see a palm with a
Light.
beam of energy, of light coming out.
Yes.
Now if you haven't got your third eye open, we can't see it. But people that have their third eye open and they can see it, and you can see the energy coming out from your palm. Patients can feel, for instance, heat.
Yes.
But this is what you put in your mind, you imagine.
Yes.
But if we come back to Divine Healing Hands, it's using the energy coming out through your hands and through your mind and through your voice, through speech or singing. So these three different energies with different frequency and vibration, they together make the Divine Healing Hands, plus you get a download of power. Because people ask me, why do I need to do the Divine Healing Hands course? You are teaching us enough and we have knowledge. So the Divine Healing course is between 2 and 3 days.
Yes.
We study, we practice, but at the end you get the downloads from Master Sha, from one of his masters. That's bringing down the power with the protection power. So
The protection for ourselves.
yeah, when you see, if I speak about illnesses, blockages, it is matter blockages, energy blockages, mental blockages, emotional blockages, and soul blockages.
Yes.
When it reaches soul blockages, that means you have karma. And we have karma in your body, and the healer releases that karma. This karma might affect the healer. And that's why the healer has to be protected. So there are healers in different systems that every time they give a healing, they ask for protection. But if you go through the Divine Healing Hands course, you do not have to, because it is downloaded at the end of the course, and you have an automatic protection package.
Okay.
Which I, at a certain stage, to treat me as a healer, to treat heavier cases, I acquired a much higher protection package, one of the highest that he offers. And then I can heal 10, 20 people a day. I don't get tired, and hopefully I don't get affected.
And you feel the difference having this package. Yes, you feel it.
No, this is a protection pack. I don't feel it.
Okay.
I know that I'm protected.
Yeah, all right.
And Master Sha shows many a times that when he does healing on the stage, even on the stage with very severe illness cases, he might go afterwards and vomit, or have stomachache, or have heart beatings, because he has the highest protections, but you never know what's inside the patient. And he always says, be very cautious And if you haven't got the higher abilities, do not try and heal.
Okay. He does heal. I mean, not only him, but his master students, his initiated students. They are healing cancer, things that have never been healed. There are a lot of. That's why the book is called Soul Healing Miracles.
Right.
Because, and there are testimonials of people with very, very serious, I mean, as serious as it gets, stage 4 cancer, and quite a lot of these stories, and it's very impressive. It's impossible not to be impressed, people.
Yeah.
That these healings actually take place, and to read those testimonials is. I saw. There's a clip on the YouTube of Master Sha working on a poor baby with an enlarged head, hydrocephalus, and you could actually see the head looking better towards the end of the tea pool. I saw that live. I actually on one of the workshops, and he was much more reactive and much more. After the tea pool, I've seen children, very disturbed children, who will become much more aware of their surroundings and reactive. And in this situation of the boy with the enlarged skull, I saw that he was much more reactive to the world around him, to his parents, and his head was looking better. And then they've made several films of that boy, and the difference between how it's a German boy and how that boy is looking today and how he was when the parents brought him to Master Sha. It's miracles, miraculous things. People coming to the stage for a personal healing with Master Sha with severe walking problems, vision problems. It's like something out of the days of Jesus, the healings.
Yeah, but I want to put us a bit on the ground. Not everyone can access Master Sha. And people come to me and sort of expect for me to be sort of a magician.
Yes.
And one time to clear cancer, etc., etc. And people must understand that it's not always easy to access the Grand Master.
You bet.
And if you come to his masters, or to me, or to anyone else for healing, miracles don't all happen at once. I have many miracles of people that are healed instantly, but in most cases you need patience, because it's a process. Let's say you clear, we spoke about a left knee. Let's say I do clear the soul from its blockages in the left knee. It takes time to go through to the mind of the knee and the body of the knee.
The matter, the physical.
It doesn't all happen in one instant. It all depends individually on what you have. It takes time. And obviously, if the patient will be willing to exercise at home with the hello healing or with any other exercise that I give him,
forgiveness practice.
That's
a big part of
it. It will help. But please, I ask for all people, miracle is not equal to instant healing. Miracle is defined as any healing that occurs which is not according to regular medical process. And even Master Sha gives stories that you heal from cancer, and after 6 months the guy came and his cancer is cleared after testing, having medical checkups or CTs or whatever.
High level, stage 4. Yeah.
But it's not instant.
No.
So, I have patients with breast cancer. One woman was cleared up completely within 3 months, 7 times came to me. She worked at home. She was cleared completely. She didn't do anything in those 3 months, anything other medical. Others did not succeed.
Yes.
They did not come so much or whatever. Yes. So everyone is individual. But I would promise one thing. This soul, mind, body medicine of Master Sha helps. It helps each one individually on his own pace. And if you come, you accept, you come again and again, and you work at home, sky is the limit.
Danny, in the last film we talked about the best of Dr. Doug Lehrer,
Right.
the BEST. Do you still do that in your Tipulim?
I took one thing from there. I don't do the process of best
Okay.
with the feet and checking, etc.
Yes.
Because I realized that most of this technique is to diagnose what the patient has. And at the end of the diagnosis, which can take 5 minutes or 25 minutes, you put your fingers on your skull and you give energy.
On the skull of the client.
On the skull of the client, there are
Yes.
6 points, 2 at the back,
Yes.
2 on the sides, and 2 above the eyebrows.
Yes.
I took this from Dr. Doug's best technique, and I use that in almost every healing to remove traumas, emotional traumas, because the whole best system is based on emotions, to remove emotional traumas that might have been the trigger for a certain illness.
Okay.
And sometimes I would do it silently. Sometimes I would ask the patient, now please concentrate on any trauma you think you had from the moment you remember yourself that might have been a trigger to your illness situation. And then I tell him, I'm going to cut it off from influencing your memory or your brain, because if that was the trigger for your anxiety or any illness, if I knock off the trigger, then there's nothing to feed the illness, and slowly it will fade away. So that's what I use very gracefully from Dr. Doug and the best technique.
Dr. Doug Lehrer. Because I've been trying to figure out, so does the healing come out, is it clearing karma? Or is it removing traumas? And because in the East, they understand karma. I'm going to use a phrase now which was hard for me to accept. In the East, they understand negative karma as connected to something called dark souls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? People, spirits, souls who are angry at you for stuff you shouldn't have done, that you did maybe in this lifetime or another lifetime. Now, is our sickness due to angry dark souls, or is it, like Best says, traumas? And if the traumas are balanced or cut off, then we get well. So which is it?
This is an excellent question, because I've been dealing with a lot with this. So the explanation can be, as Master Sha, quite simple. First of all, I'll explain what this dark soul business means. If I harmed another person in a previous life, his soul and my soul have a karmatic debt. Something is open.
Yes.
Because I harmed him, so he is angry. And there was no forgiveness. So he's angry with me. So if I harmed him on his left knee, he might be the cause of a revenge on me on my left knee. Now, this revenge, as he sees it, the karma law says that I don't have a punishment in my left knee, I'm learning a lesson. Because the karma says that you can overcome the karma if you experience the same pain that you caused to the other person.
Yes.
Experience that, and then you've learned your lesson. So that soul which was affected by me might be sitting in my left knee and causing the problem. Now, he's called a dark soul. He's not a dark soul. He's in a dark soul situation sitting in my knee. So when I do the forgiveness process, I actually call his soul. I say, please forgive me. I apologize for what I did to you. And when he forgives me, we close our karmatic debt. He's free to carry on with his soul journey, and my knee can get healed.
But that's an amazing view of the human being. In other words, let's say a man is going through life and he's been hurt or attracted hurt from many people.
1 minute, I just want to go back to the trauma thing.
All right.
Now, when I ask, there was a trauma. For instance, I had, not lately, I had a person that he says he was about 75 years old. He can't stand water. So I say, so what happened to you? Did anything happen to you when you were young with water? He says, yes, I almost drowned. Now, why did this happen of his almost drowning when he was 5 years old? This is karma.
Okay.
You see, when we look for the reason for the trauma is defined as an emotional negative experience in this life.
Yes.
So that happened, but when we ask, why did it happen? This is karma. Why did anything happen? Why did what you experienced at the age 17, why did that happen to you?
Karma.
Have you got any explanation? So you can say, what happened with my swimming pool happened.
Yes.
I was injured. Accident. Why does accidents happen to people? When we look at the why, we go down to the karma. Now, if someone sitting here, one of the masters with an open third eye, who has access to your personal file in the Akashic records,
yes.
which is the divine heaven library,
yes,
then he can go into your personal file and track down exactly what happened in a certain past lifetime, that because of that your accident occurred.
Yes, yes.
So we have the trauma that happened at a young age, which is causing your illness or your frights or whatever you're afraid of. Yeah. So the reason for that was karma. When I clear that from influencing your mind, I am actually doing two things. I am clearing the influence that is generating, feeding your illness all the time, the memory of that.
Yes.
And I'm clearing the karmatic reason that happened to you, which is also the deeper reason for your illness or your worries or whatever. So let's take this guy that is afraid of water.
Yes.
If I clear out from his mind this trauma that he almost drowned when he was young, if I succeed, he can go back or go into water and enjoy it and not be afraid anymore.
But are you, by clearing trauma, are you removing dark souls?
No, when I clear the trauma, I clear what's feeding his illness. The dark souls are within his illness. I mean, that's the outcome of the trauma.
But, right.
Now, I can clear dark souls only if they are below my soul standing level in heaven.
This is a principle.
Yeah, that's a principle that Master Sha teaches all the time, because he says, do not dare to clear karma which is above you, because they might attack you as a healer.
And they're strong, and you may not be able to handle it. But let me get this straight. So with Best, he's balancing out traumas and sort of removing traumas. For instance, Dr. Doug.
Right.
But he's not removing negative karma. He's not removing dark souls.
No, he just removes the trauma, because he's not into all this stuff of soul business. And this is what helps. It will not heal your basic cause, then it can happen to you again in your next life.
Or in this life.
Or in this life.
Now
I mean, this guy might drown again if I don't remove, if he goes into water. But what he does helps, and many other healing methods do the same thing of removing trauma, if it's emotional or mental.
Yes.
I don't know too much about, let's say, theta healing, but that works on brain frequencies,
yeah.
which might be quite similar. So they don't dig down to the karma level, but it's good enough for a person to heal now and get back onto his feet.
Okay, now again about this phrase "dark souls," which was a shocker for me, and it's first of all there's good karma too.
Of course.
So if there's dark souls there and negative karma, then there's got to be light souls connected with good karma.
Of course.
Yes. Okay. So, but it's an amazing concept of a human being. Let's say I've gone through my life and many people I've attracted, because we're always the attractor in our experience. Let's say I've attracted many people who've hurt me, okay, and I haven't forgiven, and I have grudges. So I sent out a whole bunch of dark souls into this guy and into this woman and into this guy. Am I sending out little tiny pieces of my anger and my rage? Call what the East calls dark souls. Am I sending out thousands and millions of dark souls left and right? Do we do that?
Now, what I understand is that if you do this deliberately with your human mind, it's more putting on curses than sending out dark souls.
Well, I'm not talking about deliberate. I'm talking about an angry person going through life, and not a forgiving person. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not going to. I mean, if somebody hurts his knee, if somebody causes knee pain to this guy, his whole body, his whole soul isn't going to that guy's knee. He's sending out a tiny little aspect of his anger, which must be what's called a dark soul.
No, I don't know that theory. The theory
I'm
know.
just asking you to.
I don't know.
To hypothesize.
I don't know. That's going a bit deep. But if we know that the dark souls are sort of revenging souls that come to give you back suffering for what you caused to them, and we said that every cell is a soul, so it might be souls of cells that were in a certain guy's knee and not necessarily the whole person's soul.
Obviously.
And that means that what you say might be true, that
okay.
you're angry and you're sending out a soul, maybe souls from your knee souls to his knee souls to sit in there and make him painful.
It's an amazing concept.
But this is just a thought.
All right, we're hypothesizing, but then a loving person who is feeling gratitude to so many people that he meets during the day, and who he's feeling the lifting from their smiles and the inspiration from the glances that he's receiving, and he's grateful for these little energy sendings of love.
I'm sure.
Then he may be doing something very similar, only in a positive way. I'm just trying to figure it out. That's all. So are we?
It always works. You're right. It always works both ways. That means yin yang. To the two ways which are balanced. That means if I send out the negative, I can send out the positive, even not deliberately. I send out.
I send out, and maybe it is that way.
I'm sure.
I mean, it's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. There was something else. We're planning. Your dream is to start a center in Israel, a divine love, harmony center here in Israel. Isn't that right?
That's not my only dream. My first dream is that more and more people will understand that they have to get healing, receive healing, learn how to heal, take care of themselves, not only to heal illness but to prevent from getting ill. To use these techniques and not always run to the doctor and hospitals, etc. So my main challenge is to get not only to the people. Just imagine that I get to to insurance companies that pay so much money every year for to hospitals and for surgery, and they will start sending people, before you go surgery and we pay $100,000 for your surgery, please go to get some divine healing hands healing. We'll pay for you, we'll give you a certain well, and if maybe you'll be healed. So you see, there's a whole big area of people that's my main goal, is people that should know they don't have to suffer. So many people do not believe, or come once and then do not come again. And then we go to the love, peace, harmony. So these are two parallel streams, one to heal and the other to get people to be better people, more patient. Look at all the corruption that's going on, coming out, and we knew it I always remember the message I brought down from Menorah before 2:14 started. Like I brought down the message yesterday for 2:15.
Yes.
That we are in a purification process, and when you purify your body, all the toxins come out, the bad stuff comes out, because that's how you clean. If you want to clean out your room, you must clean out the dust and the old stuff and then put in the new. So in the country, all this corruption that's coming out and everything. Every country, but we see it in Israel now.
Yes.
Every day you have worse news, but that's part of the process that's happening now.
Yes.
So people should understand that they can come and get the healing. Children, pets, businesses, the healing energies works right across. It doesn't have to go only to heal a certain illness. Mental, people with that, I helped people find husbands or wives.
Yes.
It's not only healing.
Yes.
So our biggest goal is to recognize that soul, mind, body medicine works. Miracles happen, but come and do and practice and get into the knowledge. I'm sure that'll bring us to a much better world where people will be, as Master Sha says, happier and healthier.
Yes, and he's got a great website. People can find out more. They can learn. They can start looking at the clips.
I tell people, you look for Master Sha first of all in YouTube.
Yes.
See the films, see the healings, see the teachings. Then go into his site to register, etc.
There are many amazing things to see on YouTube. I agree. Mind-blowing things. They also heal very much with song, singing,
Yeah,
and dancing even.
It's called Dao, Sing and Dance.
Yes, song.
Which is expressing your inner energies and receiving outer energies through voice, singing and motion, and like Tai Chi. It's very good.
It's very good. And the ancient people knew about healing through song and dance.
Yeah.
That's why even in the Greek tradition, Apollo was the god also of healing and also of art. So he's connected to art as well. Danny, maybe you could give us a flow. Maybe we could finish by you giving us a flow. Apollo was the god of was connected to music and to healing, because there's such a big connection. This is a very special day. This is the last day of the year, 2014. Very sacred in many traditions. Maybe you could. There's a message that would like to come through.
So let's try to connect and see what will come.
Okay. Hiya.
Greetings on this day. This is Tien Wai Tien. Dear my beloved sons and daughters, and all the listeners and viewers, I am so happy to give you these messages, through my son Daniel, my son Eliyahu, my son Leon that is present. Humanity is going forward to a period which will not be easy, because this is a period of transformation. Humanity has accumulated so much evil, so much to be cleared, starting from the individual, going up to groups, nations, and all humanity. Humanity is connected to Mother Earth. Mother Earth is hosting humanity. Mother Earth and humanity are connected as one. And both of them are connected to heaven. And humanity must go through this transformation. Any transformation, any change has purification. And that is what you were seeing for the past 2 years, going into the new era. This new era of soul and heart, where we work from the soul, we work from the heart. We express through the soul, we express through the heart. We use the energies of the heart, less the energies of the mind. And this is for heaven, for Mother Earth, and for humanity, for each individual. But so many difficulties are arising through this purification process, from individuals who have illness, physical illness, emotional illness, mental illness, the illness of not realizing or not willing to change. So much knowledge about being spiritual, about giving service is accessible. People do not change. And one of our greatest missions is to make people realize that they have to change in order to adapt themselves, their lives, to the transformation era. And as we said in the last message, that you, my dear son Daniel, had channeled a few days ago about 2015, the coming year. The new generation will be the one to lead into these new energies of soul and heart. And of the old generation, these people will have to adapt and change. And the changes that we are geared towards are changes that bring us to a better humanity, of peace, of love. These are a bit far from us. Obviously, there are many people around the world, many groups, that are dealing with love, peace and harmony. But on the other side, on the other hand, these groups that are purifying through hatred, through any other motives, which are driving many, many, many souls all around the world away, far away from the light, towards the darkness, towards the influence of the darkness, of the dark forces. But always remember that the light forces and the dark forces are both under the control of the divine. And balance has to be all along when the purification process is carrying on and growing. Mother Earth in itself has an unshakable heart, but its emotions come out when influenced so severely by humanity. And that's why there will be what you call in your language natural disasters coming out from within the earth and from weather which is the outer emotional covering of Mother Earth's soul.
Mm.
Humanity will go through more suffering, but all for purification. This coming year of 2015 will be another year of even more severe purifications in many places all over the world, in politics, in economy, in all these what you call dictatorship regimes, which will start turning over into the outcome goal of happiness and freedom to all people. The karmatic depth of the humanity is still great, still too big to overcome in a short period of time. That's why this era of clearance, of purification, will take a few years for its first stage. And your work, my dear sons and daughters, is to join the Grand Master which you were talking about before, Master Sha. Draw yourself into the energies. Learn. Become an unconditional universal servant. Because each individual that comes in, he is the one that leads his own life, his friends, his family, his surroundings into the new era. And the more people will be aware of this, going out like a fire to all nations and all humanity, that is the only way that we will be able to help you from here to reach the final goal of love, peace and harmony. Be loving, be full of compassion, give yourself more and more, learn and study the studies of Master Sha or any other studies parallel to become better persons, to have the awareness of healing yourselves, healing others, and all this to go towards a much better world, because that's what we are striving for. Only when the world becomes better, Mother Earth can calm down, humanity can reach a stage of calming down, no more evil, dark forces locked down somewhere which cannot influence anymore. Only then humanity, Mother Earth and heaven all together will start climbing back towards merging with Tao, which is the final goal of every human being, of every soul. This is my message for today and for the upcoming year. Be strong. Do not be afraid to go against what any other person thinks. Be strong in your way of going with humanity, with love, with peace, with forgiveness, with compassion. Be in the light. Constantly be in the light. If you're in the light, if you have these heavenly treasures, you are on the right track. The golden way to purify, to be much better people, each in his individual way, and until the total of humanity. You are all tremendously blessed for this new year. I go. How. Thank you. Guang Song.
Thank you, Danny.
Oh.
And tonight there'll be a huge blessing ceremony with Master Sha.
Yeah, you registered?
I'm registered. Unfortunately, by the time this gets out on the air, it'll be too late for this year, but every year, for free, Master Sha does powerful blessing and downloading of these divine healing treasures. So for 2015, it's tonight, but in the future. Tell me, Danny, about Odette. Tell me about how he's teaching about the Hebrew letters, and how that's important for you and how it fits in.
I'll tell you, I think for the last 15 years, I've gone into Judaism, to the Bible, started going from time to time to synagogue. There's so much wisdom in there, but you have to dig in, you have to understand. And I've been studying with Oded, my dearest friend, who channels his wisdom about the Hebrew letters, which was the original language. I've been with him for 3 years, 4 hours a month, 5 hours a month, not more. But I've learned so much about Judaism, about the Bible. I understand through Master Sha's teachings, putting together with Oded, I can understand much better everything that is written in the Bible. And Oded speaks about very deep philosophy and analyzing with numbers on a very unique system of numerology, studying the meaning of words, of names, of things that happen. So, by the way, I didn't tell you, but I'm going to write a book.
Good.
And this book will have a combination of Master Sha stuff, Oded, everything to bring together. And I'll just give you a little sample, a tiny sample.
And then I'm going to bring up a couple of Oded pearls, if it's okay.
Because when Master Sha says, Tao creates one, one creates two, two creates three, three creates everything.
Yes.
This is the creation process, and then the reverse creation.
Yes.
And we look at the first sentence of the Bible, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. At the beginning, divine created heaven and earth,
two.
yin and yang.
One creates two.
One creates two, yin and yang. Now when he says heaven and earth, it's not heaven and earth, it's not sky and land, because that he creates later. So it's yin and yang, it's they say shamayim va'aretz, it's the spirit and the matter, the energy and the matter. So he created the two major forces, which Master Sha also speaks of, yin and yang. Whereas Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim, first he made the yang, which is the sky, the heaven, and then the yin, which is Adama, which is the earth. It's just a little
which brings it in
sample of parallel between Oded and Master Sha.
But there's more than that. You once told me you never understood the phrase "heaven's armies."
Oh, yeah.
Until you came across Master Sha. There's a very famous Hebrew prayer, which in Hebrew goes like this: Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzavaot.
Melo kol haaretz kevodo. Yeah.
Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts or armies. The whole world is filled with His glory. That's the translation.
Yeah.
Tell me about how Master Sha has clicked with that.
I don't think many Jews know what the meaning is of Adonai Tzvaot.
The Lord of hosts.
The Lord of?
Well, if you read a translation, it's usually...
Tzava is army.
It
That's
means
the
armies.
God
The Lord,
of armies.
The God of armies. It's
And-
usually translated as the God of hosts. The Lord
Okay,
of hosts.
but the real meaning is army.
Yes.
Fighting. And Master Sha describes how he takes out karma, let's say from the left knee or from all in all you.
Yes.
The
Dark souls.
the forces of heaven come with an army of soldiers and generals, and they fight. They have a battle.
Not always. Sometimes they'll agree to leave.
Okay, but if
The
they
dark
don't agree,
souls,
they have
yes.
a battle and there are casualties.
That's hard to understand.
Okay, but that's casualties of soldiers and generals, and Master Sha sometimes can read, or he or his masters, and
Yes.
say there were this number of casualties of the divine's army, etc. And that's where, from there, I understood what Adonai Tzvaot means
In Hebrew.
in the Bible.
The ancient Hebrew prayer, the
Yeah.
Lord of armies.
Yeah.
So there, it's a fitting in. It's a
Yeah.
one helping to understand the other. And the word, well, Oded talks about the man. Moses, when he
the
was,
man.
and we could talk about Moses, when the children of Israel were wandering in the desert for 40 years, man fell from the sky to feed them.
Right.
And of course, and Oded talks about the mem nun, the man. And in Chinese, you have this combination of the mem nun being also incredibly meaningful. Is that right? The Ming Men Center.
The Ming Men, yeah. But the man is the two letters, the M and the N in English, or Mem and Nun, which have the three big temptations of humanity.
Oh, yes.
That because of them, all of humanity has been accumulating karma. The
Which
man, mazon, food, mammon, money, and min, sex.
Yes.
So sex, food, and
Money.
and money are the greatest temptations that brought upon us all our sins and all our ego and briberies and all the bad things that because of them we accumulated karma. So that's a very nice thing.
Okay, that connection is something. Yes,
Okay.
a book is very important, I think. One of these days. Okay, Danny.
Thank you very much.